But yeah, welcome to my group. We're playing old school Dungeons and Dragons Basic Expert with some house rules. And if you're not familiar with OD&D, basically, in this game, you're going to tell stories of adventurers who party up and go on adventures or campaign to hunt monsters and treasures in the medieval world of Dungeons and Dragons for gold and for glory. It's very basic, very easy, but yeah, you're telling the story of how you either survived your adventures or, of course, were killed. Um, to play it is very simple. Once you're finished creating your character, the game starts with the Dungeon Master describing to you the situation you're in. From there, every player is allowed to decide what their characters will do. And then, of course, the final step is we determine the result or the consequences of your actions by rolling dice sometimes. Alright, so have a few rules. I'm sure you're familiar. But very basic. Just when you're playing this game, take turns speaking, try not to interrupt each other, be respectful, courteous, and mature. That's pretty much it. To start creating your characters, before we start, does anyone have any questions about the rules or how to play? Okay, no worries.
Uh,
Oh, go ahead.
Hmm?
I see like some of the classes in the game are like actual races. That's pretty new. Like, is elf meant to be a class?
Yes, you're absolutely right. So we're playing the original Dungeons and Dragons from 1974, 1981, and that's how it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Um, let's see. It was a bit strange, yeah, racist class, but you can imagine it's more inspired by the earliest designers of the game. They watched maybe or read Lord of the Rings, and elves. All elves used bow and arrow, swords, cast spells. Old dwarves were very good at mining and fighting, right, and exploring the Underdark or the deep dark caves and such mountains. Yeah, and all that. Halflings, of course, have a history of being very sneaky and burglar-like, and good with missile weapons. All right. Anyway, um, on to creating your characters. So to get started, you all are going to go into the dice rolls channel. We're going to use this channel a lot to roll dice. And let me know if you have any questions on how to get there. But it's one of the channels. It's right above ours, Dice Rolls text channel. Once you're there, we're gonna start rolling your ability scores, and you're gonna use the command. It's gonna be here. Just a moment. All right. So the command is /roll space 6 space 3d6. I typed it out and posted it so you can see it. And once you finish posting your uh, dice command, because you're actually prompting a bot to roll dice for you, you're gonna get a result similar to what Honestly has. So go ahead and type /roll space 6 space 3d6 to roll your abilities. Um, if it doesn't work the first time, just try it again. Make sure you type it out, and as you're typing it, you should be able. Yeah,
There we go.
exactly. Nice. All right, Jack and KJC, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Wait, so where did you put it? Wait, did you put it somewhere?
Yeah, dice rolls
Or does it
channel.
just look on the screen?
Go to dice rolls.
Dice rules?
Yep, on the server.
House rules?
Dice rolls. It's at the bottom,
Oh,
right above
dice
our
rules.
public session channel.
Oh, yeah, dice rules. Okay, so what do I do?
Use the command /roll space 6 space 3d6.
Roll D. Oh, dice 6?
Yep, 3d6. So you can see how I typed it, how Jack typed it. Make sure you type it like that. Make sure you type it out, and as you're typing it, you should be able to prompt a bot, the Dice Maiden, and she rolls the dice for you.
Three D6.
Nice. KJC, you got it. Jack, just try it again. Make sure you type it out. And as you're typing it, you should be able to prompt the bot and message the bot in that same channel in the chat, and it will accept your command and roll for you. So make sure not copying and pasting as well as you're typing it out.
No.
Yeah, you have to type it out, like character for character. And as you're doing that, the bot's going to be prompted, and you can text the bot or command the bot to roll for you. There you go. Nice. Alright, so these ability scores, they reflect how capable your characters are at adventuring. They are rolled 3d6 down the line on your character record. So, if I were to look at the records, starting with Honestly, since he rolled first, I'll grab this blank record sheet and begin plugging and chugging his scores. So it says he scored 11 Strength, 15 Intelligence, 13 Wisdom, a Dexterity of 11, Constitution of 11, and Charisma of 13. And any score that you see that is 9 through 12 is normal or average. Any score that is below 9, so 3 to 8, is considered low or below average. Any score that is 13 or higher, 13 through 18, is considered high or above average. Alright, so this next record sheet belongs to Saluted. And he scored 13 Strength, which means he's stronger than most men, right? 10 Intelligence, 10 Wisdom, 10 Dexterity, 13 Dexterity, 12 Constitution, and 7 Charisma. And for the next player who rolled, it was KJC. He scored 4, 9, 12, and 12, 7, 10. And we just plug and chug these scores into your record. So the last player to roll was Jack. So this record is for him. And he scored 7, 9, 9, and 14, 10, 10. So after you roll ability scores, you have to choose a class. Your class is your character's job, basically. Everyone here, first and foremost, is an adventurer, which means you have the skill and training to hunt monsters and treasures. That is your primary focus. However, everyone has a specialized set of skills to help them with certain situations, right? A divided set of skills. They specialize in particular areas of adventuring. And that's when we have these 7 different classes come in. So here's the rule set. Here are your options for classes. Here's a little photo of them together. But yes, looking on the screen here, as we zoom in so you can see it better, we have the options of Cleric, Dwarf, Elf, Fighter, halfling, magic users, and thieves. So, starting with honestly, because you're so intelligent and wise, it's recommended you would be a magic user or a cleric. What class did you pick?
I did mage. I
Magic
rolled
user.
15 copper and 4 hit points.
Okay. So honestly, he's a little more experienced. He's just rolling ahead of time, right? And then saluted. Um, for you, based on your scores, you're strong and you're dexterous, right? So I'm gonna recommend either fighter, halfling, or thief to you. What do you think you want to play as?
I actually had a question. What's the difference between like a magic user and an elf in terms of like the spells they can cast?
Mm-hmm. They can cast the same spells. However, magic users are always going to be better at magic than elves because elves take longer to
Mhm.
progress and split their training between fighting and magic casting. So magic users specialize in simply magic, right? So they'll have more
Okay.
potential for spell casting than elves.
Is there a way to like increase your stats further down the line in the game?
Yes, they don't matter too much early on. Mainly, they will help you choose your class. But yes, they all are able to be improved to max. You're able to max out all your scores eventually, or get close to max. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, y- I kind of wanted to be an elf. That's all right.
Yeah, yeah, you can. So elves require high intelligence and strength. As long as you have a 9 intelligence, you are able to play an elf. So that is fine. Yeah.
Noise.
Alright. So as an elf, you're gonna roll 1d6 for hit points. So in the dice roll channel, do slash roll space 1d6. In the meantime, as you're rolling 1d6, KJC's turn to choose a class. And KJC, you scored 12 wisdom and 12 dexterity. This means I recommend cleric or thief to you. But what's your choice?
Wait, which one? Or wait,
You have a
what did you recommend?
cleric or thief.
Cleric or thief?
That's right.
Oh, that's a good one. So, cleric or thief? What's the core principle between each one?
Yep. So clerics are extremely good at fighting undead. They are holy fighters, basically, or holy warriors. Um, they use the power of God to compel evil, right? Thieves, however,
Okay.
yeah, they have a bunch of thieving skills, so they are the best at actually hunting treasure, and they're also very good at hunting monsters from the shadows, right? They have ability in combat,
Like assassins and
yeah,
stuff, right?
scouts, assassins,
I'll take that
ranger,
guy.
right? So that all falls under thief, right?
Yeah, I'll play as the thief.
Sounds good. Alright, these have lower hit points though than most men. They have the average amount of hit points. So humans have 1 to 4 hit points. Thieves also have 1 to 4 hit points. In the dice rolls channel, go ahead and do slash roll space 1d4. Alright.
Wait, what are we looking at here? Oh, thieves. Oh, okay. Apprentice, but
Yeah, yours is apprentice. You're level 1 at the start.
thieves' abilities. Okay. Cool.
Okay, yep. So you need to roll 1d4 in the dice rolls channel using the command slash roll space 1d4. And then now it's gonna be, as you're rolling your dice, it's Jack's turn now. Alright.
D4 space. What is it?
Yep, slash roll space 1d4. That's it. And then click enter.
Wait. Oh, slash roll space 1d4.
Yep. The command format's always going to be slash roll space and then the dice you want to roll. In this case, a d4. So again, slash roll space 1d4. Only one space bar between the roll and the 1d4. Here, let me show you how to type it.
I'm showing you. 3d6. Do I have to put the 3d6?
like that. No, just 1d4.
Oh, no, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So slash roll space
Slash roll
1d4.
space 1d4.
There you go. So you both rolled for your hit points already. Your thief has 1 and a -1 penalty due to low constitution, but the minimum hit point you can start with is 1. So don't worry, you don't have 0. And Saluted scored 1 as well.
I got a 1 too. I'm cooked.
It's okay. Yeah, that's how it was in the old days. Even with the 6, you could get instantly killed. It didn't really matter. So ability scores.
So what does this do to us?
It will help you resist light damage, anything that doesn't necessarily should kill you outright. But back then, as long as you were hit, you were out of action, right? Especially in mass combat, hit points didn't really matter unless you had multiple levels. Then your hit dice would reflect how many hits you might take in battle. But just like in real life, if anyone's hit in real life in combat, you're basically down or dead. So if you're hit in this game, same situation, you're down or dead. So some of you have a little more hit points and can somewhat brush off the blunt of any attack that's not very strong or deadly, but most attacks will just kill you outright. Alright. And the goal is not to get hit then, right? In OD&D, the goal is to use cover and concealment, block, maneuver tactics, and all that, right? Alright. Jack is next. Jack, your character is very dexterous. I'm going to recommend you play a thief as well. Is that fine, or would you like to try a different class?
Yeah, it's fine.
Sounds good. So the nice part about having 2 thieves is both of them are able to scout together, right? So they can move up ahead of the crew quietly and carefully and report back to what they see, right, without making noise or alerting the enemy. Let's see. Next, you're gonna also roll 1d4 for hit points, like what KJC did, because he was a thief too. Maybe you might get lucky. Same command format. Slash roll space 1d4.
Say it again. Roll /roll 1d4.
Yep, slash roll space 1d4. Alright, you've got 2. Nice. And your penalty or adjustment is 0, so exactly 2 hit points. Alright, you guys are almost done. So the next step is to roll your starting money so you can buy gear. So for this, you each will roll 3d6. So the command, in case you're starting to get used to it now, it's always going to be slash roll. So the command is slash roll space, and then for the dice, it's going to be 3d6. So
How many dice though?
3. So the 3 represents how many dice, the D represents dice, and the 6 represents how many sides on the dice. So KJC, it's just 3d6. So we'll just take your first roll. So you scored a 10, right? So Luda scored 8. KJC, nice, scored 12. And honestly, what did you score? You rolled earlier, right?
Yeah, I got a 15.
Nice.
-3 because of the book. So.
Alright. So right now I'm just plugging and checking what each of you scored for your money roll. Jack.
Oh, gold's here, by the way.
Yep, he's late, so just sit tight. Jack, go ahead and roll. I don't think
I
you.
will be playing. No, I'll just be listening.
Sure.
Say it again.
Okay.
Did you roll yet?
Yeah, I did. Squad 5.
Oh, you're the 5 thing. Okay. You'll be alright. Alright, so starting with, honestly, we're now doing gear purchases. You bought a spell book, of course, for your spells, costing 3. And what else would you like? What spells do you want?
The Dungeon
Now it's
Master
just turned into
Chosen.
Pokemon.
DM Chosen.
Alright, sounds good. And with 12 coppers left, do you want any armor, weapons, equipment, or supplies?
I'll buy another set of spells, actually.
Okay, so it would cost you another 10 coppers for another set of spells. Is that fine?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you want 2 random, 2 Dungeon Master Chosen, or one of your choice?
2 random.
Okay, roll 2d12. You're down to 2 coppers.
That's not 3. 19 total. Okay, so 11 and 8.
Alright, for the 11, go ahead and roll again. For the 8, you got read languages.
Oh, nice. Got a 12.
Okay, ventriloquism as well. And out of these 4 spells, which one did you memorize for this game?
I have a feeling I need sleep, so I'm memorize sleep.
Alright, sounds good. And
Why am I
Finally.
listening to this music?
what are your last 2 coppers gonna go toward?
What do you recommend?
I recommend some kind of bag, so you can put your spellbook in it.
Okay, yeah, I'll get a nap set.
And for your last copper, maybe a 10-foot pole, or a rope, or a staff.
Staff. What does staff be for again?
It can help you fight, reach things, detect traps maybe. It's not as good as a pole, but it's got its purposes.
Yeah, I'll get a staff.
Alright. Salute it, you're next. In the meantime, honestly, think of what name you want. Unless you want me to roll a name for you.
I got, Victoria.
Victoria? Okay. Alright. Salute it, your turn. Since you're an elf, the first thing you need to purchase is an empty spellbook to fill your knowledge of spells with. Right, so
Alright.
it costs you 3 coppers for that. And when it comes to your starting spells, your options are either 2 random spells, 2 Dungeon Master chosen spells, as if an NPC mentor taught you them, or 1 spell of your choice, as if you were a self-taught magic user. Right?
And what does memorizing a spell do?
It allows you to cast it. At level 1, you can only memorize 1 spell a day. Your spellbook might have multiple spells, but you only can memorize 1 per day, naturally, due to your level.
I see. And I have a question on how casting stuff works in this game. Is it like I know like in 5th edition they use spell slots. How does it work in this game?
Yep, so it's similar. In original D&D, you memorized spells based on what level you were. If you're level 1, you can only memorize 1 first level spell. And you can cast it by, of course, being able to see what you're casting against, and being able to do a hand gesture, and of course, being able to speak the incantations, right? So there's 3 components: seeing your target, and hand gestures, and speaking incantations. That is the cost to cast the spell, besides memory.
And you could just cast it as many times as you could?
You can only cast it once a day. It's very rare and powerful. Magic is rare and powerful. So you would only get one spell a day.
I see.
It's a supernatural ability.
Alright then.
Let's see. So you get either...
In that case, I'll take... Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
In that case, I'll take... I guess I'll just choose to learn one spell, and I'll take Magic Missile. That works.
Very good choice. Yeah. Alright. And you've got 5 coppers left for any gear. Right, so we're gonna look over the gear listing. There's a pretty large gear listing for our game, as you can tell. But just to give you a broad idea, we have photos, right, to just help you understand what you might want to get. As a very adventurer, it's recommended the first thing you'll get is a weapon for self-defense. And the best ones early on for hunting monsters, naturally, are actual hunting weapons like bow and arrows. But if you prefer melee weapons, they are available too. What would you prefer for your first weapon?
Well, I can't take very much damage, so I suppose I'll get a bow or something ranged.
Alright, good choice. If you want something more affordable and one-handed, so you can also cast spells at the same time, I recommend you get yourself a sling. It is one of the few one-handed missile weapons in the game. But if you want something more dedicated to firing, right, a bow and arrow would be perfect, right, or a crossbow. What would you prefer?
Does it take like an action or something to like, if you want to like stow a weapon so that you could go back to like using your magic?
Yes, it could. Depending on how you do it, right? If you drop an item, it's a lot quicker than if you were to sheath it, right? Or even worse, open your backpack up and stow it inside your backpack and then put your backpack back on, right, in the middle
Hold
of
up,
your
everybody!
Yeah. So,
I see. What do you recommend?
I would recommend, since you're new and you need other gear, possibly get the cheapest and most effective one for you is a sling.
Alright, I'll get a sling.
Either that or a short bow, right, which is a little more dedicated to missile fire. The damage difference is very minimal though. This only deals 1d6, this deals 1d4, so the sling's almost just as good, right?
Yeah, I'll go with the sling then.
Okay. The total price is 2 coppers. You get a sling, you get a pouch, you get a 30 stones, a bundle of 30 stones, which are free. You can just pick off stones from wherever stones can be found and load them to your sling to fire. Now you do have some more money left over because you chose a more affordable weapon. You have 3 coppers left for any other weapons you might want, or more importantly, equipment and supplies. Something very vital for your crew to have are torches. You can be the torchbearer of the team, right? This means you will get a knapsack to carry torches with, and fire steel to light them, right? Is that fine? That is a pretty
Yeah,
good,
that works for me.
important role, yeah. So you bought supplies for the team, particularly you bought the torches, so you're the torchbearer more than likely. So it's a very important job. So without any torches, we cannot be led into a dungeon. So it's a sign of leadership. Let's see. $10. That's it. At least early on. The next member is KJC, who scored 10 coppers. As a thief, the first thing you're gonna need are some lockpicks. So your lockpicks cost 3 coppers. Is that fine? And then also recommended is a 10-foot pole, so you can detect traps from a distance. 10-foot pole is another 2 coppers with a sling included, so you can wear it. So the total price for your gear already is 5 coppers, which leaves you with only... See, what did you score originally? It was 10. So yeah, you should have only 5 left after buying the basic thief tools. Alright, is that fine with you, KJC? You have a lockpicks now on your belt. You have a slung pole for trap detection. But do you still have money left over for weapons and armor, possibly? More importantly, you might want a weapon. I recommend bow and arrows, or close quarters stabbing weapons, or sling and stones maybe, or a pole arm, right? If that's the case, you don't need a 10-foot pole. You would use a spear instead, right, to detect traps.
Wait, whose turn is it?
KJC, your turn.
Oh, it is my turn? Okay, I'll take
Yes.
the bow.
You want the short
Unless
bow?
there's a crossbow.
Crossbow? Very good choice. There's 3 kinds, but the ones you can afford are, I think, only the light crossbow at the moment. So,
That's
I'll let
fine.
you. Alright, the total price, let's see, check combat rules real quick. I think it should be 5 coppers total. Yeah, latchet, 3 coppers, quiver, 1, quarrels, 1. So, it's the remainder of your funds. You're equipped with a latchet, which is known as a light crossbow, right? Latchet. A quiver, and 5 shots, quarrels.
Cool.
Right. Finally, oh yeah, saluted as well in KJC. Go ahead and think about the name you want to name your character, or give your character.
Nova.
Nova? Is how do you spell it?
Nova.
Oh, Nova? Okay. Alright. And saluted, do you know what name you want?
Yeah, I'll be TECLIS.
How do you spell it?
It's like TECLIS.
Nice. Good names. Alright, Jack, you're next. So you have 5 coppers, unfortunate. You're very poor for a thief. You might not even get lockpicks unless you really want them. But since Nova already has lockpicks, you might not need them, right? You could focus on other tools if you want, or you could focus simply on weapons, right? What do you think? Because he already has a pole, he already has lockpicks, so you might focus
Is
on
there a
other
hidden
things.
blade? Can I have a hidden blade?
You don't
That's
have
what I
enough.
was just about to say.
You don't have enough money anymore, but yeah, daggers and such, right? They are available if you want one.
Yeah, I want a dagger.
Okay. Sheath and dagger, total price is 4 coppers. You're down to 1.
Yep. Well, what else can I buy with 1?
With your last copper, I'm gonna recommend either a bag of sorts, a 50-foot rope, or let's see, maybe you can get more supplies for the team. You can't carry it, but you could pass it off to someone else who has a bag. But some cheap
How about
things.
50-foot rope?
Yeah, you can carry that. You can wrap it around yourself. Let's see.
Cool, cool, cool.
Alright, so you've got the rope. It's pretty important. Alright, and finally, last step for you, like them, you must give your character a name.
KERTYC.
KERTYC, how do you spell it?
C. Wait, no. KCTYC.
Is it KCTYC?
K. Wait, KER.
TYC. KERTYC. Okay, nice. That makes more sense. Alright. Congratulations. You all just finished creating your first character in OD&D. And on average, it takes about 5 minutes per player, right? So we only spent about 30 minutes so far creating characters. And there's 4 of you, so that's pretty good timing. Compared to modern D&D...
I'm able to play all night, boys, so what are you guys up to for the evening?
Yep, that's good. We're not going to play all night, though. We only play for maximum duration of 3 hours, but your crew, it's like in OD&D, it's more like gambling. As soon as you make profit, you can choose to push forward or withdraw, right? And cash out what you gained. So the idea is you're gonna go hunt monsters and treasure, typically, and if you make enough profit to secure your crew and get them a good life to live for a few days or whatever long you're gonna be out of commission, then you can cash out, right? So the quota is, you want to make at least a few days pay so you can not have to worry about funds for a few games, right? Upkeep and all that.
Ooh.
So whenever you're not playing, the character is living as NPC, trying to maintain their way of life until you play again. But typically, you want to make some good funds so you can not just get by every day and struggle to live, but live a good life and let your character eventually retire, right? And after telling or going on all these dangerous expeditions, as to make a name for himself and living, right, for themselves, right? So they can again, right, live to tell the tale and retire someday, right? And fulfill their goals or dreams, right, as a human, right, or whatever race you are. But yeah, the idea is you're gonna go hunting for monsters and treasures to get gold and to get glory. All right, or in other words, to get money and experience points. Right, money buys you more gear. Experience points helps you level up. All right, I'll see you in 5 minutes. We're gonna take a small break. Every hour typically we're supposed to take a break. Let you guys take a break, and then we'll keep playing after. So 5 minute break, and when we get back, we'll start playing.
Yeah. So this is what I'm kind of thinking, gentlemen. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just confirm here. So we got. Okay, so I'm thinking that me and the other dude here, we're both like kind of like assassins. So we'll go do some recon. So we'll be the ones that will go like ahead of the team to make sure everything is clear. And then essentially we can keep ourselves always in the know in advance.
You're the first two players that I've actually seen play Thief Rate. You actually are.
Yeah, that works for me.
Wait. Just for right now, I mean, I guess like, because well, he said like we're just gonna be running around like collecting things and like collecting monsters, but I don't know if you guys have any of you guys played like any MMOs or RPGs, like MMORPGs and stuff.
Yeah, I used to play World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14.
That's not exactly how you should be thinking about this, but okay.
Well, I'm thinking about it like we're in a raid party together, you know? So like we can essentially all gang up together, push, as a group to fight larger groups of enemies that are higher level.
And what if you get flanked?
Well, that's why we fight together.
Yeah, okay, Mai, what are you guys doing? Kobolds, exactly? What are you doing? Goblins, kobolds, what are you fighting? Where are you going?
Well, no, this is just general foundation for us to start with, some concepts.
Okay.
We fight
Here's some
together.
advice.
The assassins go ahead of the party to raise alertness for the rest of the team. Should get a spyglass if that's the thing.
Honestly,
Something like that.
Yes.
I'm amazed the fact that you're not voicing your opinion on this, but okay.
I don't know exactly where we're going either. We're kind of surrounded.
Okay. Dell itself has enemies all around, all of which is quite literally improbable to win a fight against. To the east, you have basically the greenskins, so hobgoblins, goblins, and orcs fighting you. To the south, you have pirates and raiders, which are level 4 from what I've heard from Ekin. The same in the west.
How do you wait? That's actually what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I read
You
last
guys are
game
joining
session
currently during a bad time of history for this campaign. Because evidently the wars we were winning and we are now on the losing side of. Granted, there's quite literally wars all around. My recommendation for new players and everyone here who's low level is that you go to the Kobold Cave. But don't go over the bridge near Dell. Instead, you want to walk up to the other town and then cross the bridge up there. That is safer than going over Dell, because if you go through the bridge where Dell is, you have to head north. And if you follow the road, you're going to immediately go to the front lines of the Greenskin War. If you go north, you're directly in Greenskin territory, which means you're going to run into 43 goblins and die.
This guy
And,
sounds like the
yeah.
NPC that's like trying to warn you not to go into the high
Yeah,
level
it's like,
zone.
do not go
Like,
in there.
This is our.
So Gold.
This is actually great help.
So Gold, I read last game's session report. The goblins got pushed back a little bit. So
Yeah, only a little. My recommendation is, if you guys actually are planning on heading into territories where there's large amounts of enemies, get grenades.
Those exist.
Yeah.
You guys ready to do a little XP farming?
The thing I did last session was, or rather the group I was with, was that we bought 2 grenades and basically tossed them around a corner, killing 16 enemies that was inside a dungeon.
Okay, gentlemen, I think we got ourselves a
Kobold-
little glitch.
So kobolds are pathetically weak, but they're strong in numbers, which means in a nutshell, they might have 16 or 18 in a trench somewhere, or like hiding somewhere. And either one, they'll make a shield wall, then a bow wall, and then shoot your ass until you're dead, which actually resulted in 2 of our players dying. Or they're gonna rush you from 2 sides, or maybe even 3 sides, in which case you're gonna have to split your forces, again, with probably 16 kobolds on one side and 16 kobolds on the other.
Alright,
You
Mr.
guys are
Gold,
only
sorry
4
to
players.
interrupt you, but if you're not part of this group, you're gonna have to start spectating again, because we're about to start playing.
That's fair.
Unless you really want to join in, then you can just,
Oh, fuck no.
hop in as Odin. Right. Alright. So, very well. At this time, please make sure you're muted if you plan to spectate. Right, that is the rule. If you're not playing, you cannot interrupt the game. If you do, I'll have to unfortunately disconnect you, right? Or mute you. Alright, so honestly, Jack, KJC, and Saluted, welcome back. Hopefully that was a long enough break. You have finished creating your first characters, and now it's time to start playing. So, to begin, as your dungeon master, I'll describe to you your situation, and on top of this, some background information, so you have an idea of what you'll do moving forward. Naturally, the 4 of you have gathered as a party of adventurers, and you have either arrived or began in the small town of DELN. DELN is a coastal settlement, a frontier. From the mainland, many have come here seeking fortune and a new life, right? The old world is gloomy, dangerous, unemployed, right? Misery. Out here, there's opportunities for men like yourselves to make a name for themselves, right? Not just a cog in the machine, right? So that's why people come out here. And that's why many choose the job or occupation, at least at your age, adventurer or mercenary or soldier, right? Most men your age will take on such occupations. And these warring states, right? You arrive at the front lines or the frontier settlement of DELN. Again, a coastal settlement on the beach, right? Great Plains here beyond it. And you're seeking your fortune, right? There are many opportunities and jobs available for your crew, but your main job as adventurers is to hunt monsters in the area and treasure, right? Recover lost treasures and such for yourselves, right? So your situation. You're currently standing in the streets of town, or maybe at the tavern, or maybe at the gate, and you're planning on leaving soon after finalizing your plans on what you'll do for today's adventure, right? How you will employ your crew and make some money, right? Some background information on what has happened recently is you heard that the last team of adventurers to set out into the frontier returned from, let's see, they returned from the Kobold Caves to the north, which is an ongoing war that has been fought for about a year or two now, right? North of DELN is a stretch of plains that continues from down, and in those plains, it used to be a peaceful land until a wicked race of dog-like men known as the kobolds emerged from the underground and began raiding and pillaging. Unfortunately for them, war was declared upon them by the dwarves and humans who founded the settlers that set out for those lands. And in the past year, we cleared them out of the plains again, and we forced them back into their hidey holes, their lair, among the grassy hills, in which there are caves, under which, of course, or within which, are of course the kobolds. And the final task of the war is to force them to surrender and give up their assaults on the plains for good, kill them all to the last and collapse their caves, or continue warring against them until the end of time, right? So that we can make peace in these lands and settle them once again. So here's the campaign map. It's a little messy right now because we have the warring tokens on there. Usually we don't have as many tokens on here, but lots of groups want to know about where the enemy armies are. So this is your town, the town of Delmen, right? And these little banners here with the dragon on it represent the kingdom of Einkland, which Deln is a part of, right? So any red banners here represents an army. Armies typically support up to 100 troops, something like that. So you can see that there's a foreign army along our shores to the south, right? That is the kingdom of Nishkanland, right? Or the Nishkan men. So to the east are all these clans of greenskins who have been raiding across the plains east of the river, right? We have various clans. We have the green hops, or green hobgoblins. We have the green gobs, the green goblins, and we have the green orcs, right? The green orcs, right? And of course, this is where most adventurers have been fighting the war, because this is where monsters also exist in their lair. As you can tell, this war is being won. There's only one enemy position left in this grid. This is a grid. Every grid is about 1 league, so 3 miles by 3 miles. You can see the north side is controlled by another faction known as they're dwarves, right? They're the dwarves to the north, and to the south is the humans, right? The Delmen armies, right? So you can see how the war is progressing. If you're interested in going to war, that is actually an option. You can actually join the front and or take on mercenary contracts and fight the war, right? Help fight the war. But most adventurers venture to go the caves of the kobolds north of town. Alright, so enough background information. It's time to pick a job, right? You have all this knowledge now on what you might continue to do. The last crew went here. You can do the same, or you can try something new, right? You can go to war. You can visit other ruins, right? Anyone have any suggestions or plans or ideas on what we should do first for this game? We are here at Down.
We got recommendation that we should maybe try our hand at kobolds first, because they're pretty weak.
Yeah, the war is being won.
Would we know where those are?
Yep, right up here. There are multiple ways to get there. You can take the road, right, which has been recently secured by the armies of Down. The north side of the road is secure, so beyond the front lines, you'll be able to march north in the safety of secured positions, territory. There's still a chance of an encounter every now and then, but what's up?
Yeah, so it would be generally safe to go on that road. So you guys just want to do that?
Sure.
So we have to roll,
Alrighty.
Let's see what happens.
all in agreement to visit the or begin our campaign north then, right?
Yeah.
Course of travel selected by, was it Nova? No, sorry. TECLIS, right?
Mhm.
So the team is suggested we march north, and that's what we'll do. Today is a full day in October. It is the morning of October 7th, year 10 in the campaign. And this 4 of you set out from Down, right? You pack your gear, grab your weapons, march to the street of Down, out through the gate, and through the countryside, you make your way toward the bridge that spans the great river of Down, right? And eventually, you reach the front lines, right? Or you reach the back lines of the front lines, right? So as you cross the gatehouse and make your way past the bridge and onto the other side, there's an encampment on the other side. This is the second gatehouse, or the outer gate, on the east side of the river. The east side of the river is secure, but beyond the front lines, you will enter into no man's land and possibly enemy territory that belongs to the green gobs, green orcs, and possibly even some green hobs. So currently it's understood that the green gobs are in charge of this area to the east.
Yeah, we could cut up to Easton and then go east, like from there. Or, well, is it west? Is Cobalt Caves west or east?
Well, we're already at the bridge.
Or east at that bridge.
Marching north to friendly territories is the current course of travel, right? That has been declared by, was it Nova or TECLIS?
Yeah, that was me.
TECLIS, right? So TECLIS declared we would march north to the road, right? So we would begin by just marching cross country, across friendly lines, or the friendly territories, right? Behind the front lines, and eventually we'll reach the road naturally, and then follow the road up to the caves, right? So you're out here in the fields, you're marching across, rocking across an open plain, just tall grass all around you for the next few miles. And as you travel, we have to roll to see if you encounter anything. So your party's rate of movement is 2 miles an hour, and after you reach the border up here, maybe a mile out from the road, there's a chance for an encounter, so you have to check for it. It's a very low chance, but the first chance of encounter is a wandering monster encounter out here in the plains. So checking, it's a very low chance. 2 ones indicate an encounter at this hour. So this is from 8 to 9 o'clock, the first hour of your march. Safe travels. We'll check for any signs of large game to hunt, in case you're interested. And finally, we're in friendly lines, so we'll check for any friendlies you might encounter, 1 in 6. Alright. Uneventfully, you marched across the plains and toward the border. The next 2 miles will be your party marching toward the southern siege camp, south of the KOBOLD caves. So, this next march, we'll check again for any encounters. Low chance, but there is a chance. 2 ones indicate an encounter. Next, we'll check for any wild animals. Alright, wild animals were encountered on the way there. Let's see what kind. Just a moment. So we have an encounter. Would you guys be interested in engaging a group of wild animals, or do you want to just move past it and continue on with your plans? So this could delay your crew if you decide to engage in a group of animals, right? But it could also be profitable.
I say we do it. I say we take out these animals. I got a crossbow and arrows, and he's got a slingshot.
Yeah, me too. Do that.
I suppose if we stayed from afar and like used ranged attacks, we could do that. I guess. Do the animals like know we're there?
All right. So, yep. To find out, we're gonna first check a surprise check, or do a surprise roll. So we're now in an encounter. So I'll show you the encounter sequence. So in an encounter sequence, we start by rolling to see if either side is surprised. Okay. So here, I'll zoom out here. So. Alright. Rolls wandering monsters. Checking for surprise. And distance. Alright. So surprise determines the distance. So we are not surprised. They are not surprised. So we found signs of animals. We don't actually see actual animals right now. We see their footprints. So you can track them down, but they appear to be hoof prints. Most likely belong to a herd of animals, right? Do you want to track them down?
Who?
Hoof prints. So they could be deer, they could be horses, they could be ox, right?
This could be real big for us, gentlemen. Should we take it?
Yes.
Well,
It goes
suppose
northeast.
it's-
So off your route, right? You're trying to go northwest. It goes straight off the path, northeast. Is that fine?
mm,
Well, I mean, man, look, we
I
could
guess
get
it's
like
still like
horse.
it's still kind of nearby, so I guess we could do that, and we're like still within Allied lines, right?
Yeah. Alright, so you'll
Yeah,
march,
so why not? Let's do it.
track them down. And you'll continue marching until you see them. And fortunately, we're on the plain, so it's a pretty flat land out here. And the encounter distance is going to be a lot closer then, once you actually spot them. So at this point, we're rolling for encounter distance when you see them. This is going to be, instead of in yards, it's going to be in feet. You spot them at 120 feet. So you're just marching across the plains, right? Looking out for any signs of the animal, and you're just moving northeast across the plains. And after you kind of ascend a hill and move downhill into another area of the plains out here somewhere, you see along a creek that flows maybe toward the southwest, there's a herd of animals there. Particularly, it's a herd of deer up ahead. At 120 feet is the closest one to your position in the tall grass, right? You're in a tall grassland, so it's a wild grassland, right? Uncultivated land. It's just tall grass everywhere. So you see a herd of deer up ahead, right? Do you want to fire upon them? You guys can like ready up missiles and fire at the same time. You're at 120. That's when you see them.
Yeah.
Question:
That
How
sounds
much
good.
XP? Question: How much XP do we get for deer?
Deer can be pretty valuable when it comes to the amount of food they can support or supply. So they're valid for their meat mainly. They don't have bounties on them particularly, so bringing their head back would be almost useless. But bringing their meat and furs back would be valuable, right? Back in town. As for experience points, they're not exactly considered monsters, so they don't grant as much experience typically, possibly half, right? Depending on how
But they're
they're.
creatures.
Yes, they are creatures indeed. They are not monsters. Everything can be a threat. It depends on how you choose to kill them, right? So naturally, farmers don't get experience points by slaughtering a cow, right? It's by hunting a monster, right? So this is the hunt. So you would get some decent experience still. But for example, if you were to domesticate and slaughter a deer, you would get 0 experience for it, right? Does that make sense? So
Okay,
you
yeah,
would
that-
still
that
get some
makes
experience
sense.
if you hunt it, though. It's hunting experience, right?
So how about like all of us like ready up a ranged attack? If you have it, we just like, you know, we just throw a barrage at them, I guess. But we don't
I
have
have a
much
long
cover,
bow,
so
don't
we'll
I?
just kind of have to. Yeah, so I have a fling. So, and what about our 2 thieves? What do you guys have?
Alright, so from this distance, I believe if your party wants to risk it, a way to secure the kill is you could also cast a spell on it, right? And then you can always rest up and regain their spells. To regain their
Sleep?
spells, you need 8 hours, right? You want to cast sleep on them?
Yes. I'll tell
Oh,
Victoria
nice.
to cast sleep.
Okay, so Victoria will
Hell
try to
yeah.
cast sleep on them. And
Wait, I was playing. Oh wait, I didn't tell you that. Shit.
you did not. Yeah, you're
I tried to
Victoria.
mention I was playing once.
Alright, so what are we doing? Should I do anything? Should I shoot with my crossbow? Pew!
Yeah, we're making plans. So Nova, you can fire your
What
latchet.
do we see?
We see 1 deer at the moment.
Guess I'm Victoria.
Okay, 1 deer.
Yeah, there could be more, right? But there's tall
Okay,
grass.
how? Well, gentlemen, I got a crossbow, so I can just one-shot this bitch.
Depends. I guess I'll
Don't
cast sleep
judge
on
my
her.
skill.
Alright, so
Are you
Victoria
gonna
plans to
cast
cast
sleep?
sleep. So if that works, if that works, then you guys don't have to worry about shooting it. So you can save your ammo, right?
Yeah.
Victoria gets 1 sleep per day.
Okay, how about this? If you wait, so he's gonna slingshot it, and then if he fails, I'll shoot it.
Okay, so if he
No, we're gonna sleep him first.
are we sleeping it first or are we firing at it first?
Yes, we're sleeping him first.
We're sleep works. Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
So-
so what's that? Enlighten me.
it's a
real quick.
magic spell he's got.
So he's
Oh,
using
she's
Put
got-
magic.
him to sleep.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's great.
He's gonna cast sleep on it, and then you guys can just kill it after. So we see 1 deer. Therefore,
Yeah,
it's
that's good.
the only target. If you want to get closer to see more, you could, but the risk is alerting the deer, right, and forcing them to flee.
I always thought animals were a little ugly.
So for now we see one, and let me roll to see how big it is. There's three different sizes for the deer. There's, of course, male, female, and child, right? So, basically, it's a 3 in 6 chance for it to be, or we'll say it's equal chance for each. 1 and 2 is a baby, 3 and 4 is a female, and 4 to 5 or 5 to 6 is a male. It's a male, so he's on the outlier area, right, guarding his herd. So he's just kind of on alert, just kind of looking around, right? He's on the edge, and you cast sleep on him. He makes a saving throw versus sleep, and he failed. So that one deer you saw, you launch a sleep spell toward him, and supernatural force hits it. You can see the deer kind of buck its head for a second, right? Like shake its head, and like cut at the grass with its antlers, and then just kind of collapse on its side, just yelps and makes a deer sound and groans and hits the deck, right? As he falls, the other deer flee in the distance, right? Through the meadow.
Nice.
You secure your first kill.
We got one.
Alright. So if you move up there, you can of course kill it and begin harvesting it, skinning it and taking what meat you can carry. Naturally, the whole deer itself is pretty heavy, so without horses or something to carry it, you could try to drag it back, but you would have to all four work together to just march it back to town to sell it somewhere, right? You can march it to the siege camp. Maybe the siege camp will buy it from you. It doesn't really matter how much strength you've got. You need manpower, right? So, one man is still not enough, depending on how strong you are.
I guess like we are still like near one of those armies. You guys think we should sell it to them, or should we just like harvest this thing right now?
They would probably pay a lot for it.
Yeah, you always need food, right?
Yep.
Yep.
They do want to be careful
well,
not to
we're close
overhunt
by,
or
so we could do that if you want.
or poach, right?
Let's do that.
So you're not considered poachers right now because this is not, this land that you're in does not belong to DELN, right? Or it's DELN territories technically, but it's not secured, right? It's just wilderness. So we'll see. But yeah, overhunting is a crime, right? And of course, poaching is also a crime. The way they find out if you poach naturally is if you have permission to hunt on a certain land and sell your stock on a certain land, right? So naturally, if you sell it to these armies, it should be all right though. So
yeah, I'm sure they'll believe
Yeah,
us.
can't we just?
Yeah, we're good.
We're gonna sell all this stuff from the deer, right?
if you sell it, you'll get a good profit, and then from there you can buy some ready to eat food instead of harvesting and of course processing the meat yourself, because that will take even longer, right?
Yeah, it would help us like on our adventure up north. So yeah, we could. I guess we should just do that. We'll just bring it to one of those armies.
Okay.
Yeah, I say we sell it to the army.
So you'll march on to save some time and gain some profits. The deer already hunted, by the way, was a male deer, and it awards a total of. Let's see. Double check how much extra he gets. Herd animal. They have reduced experience points, I'm pretty sure. But let's see. Alright. 3 hit dice. Okay, so it will grant you a total of 3 experience points. So, who would like, who in the team should get the 3 experience? Or how do you want to split it? Because one of you will not get it, since there's only 4 of you.
I mean, I put it to sleep, so I say I deserve 1.
You deserve 1 or 3 or 2?
1.
Okay.
Give me and the other, or give me 1 point for accuracy, so I can increase my skill shooting, so I can shoot first better.
All right, Noah's gonna take 1. Whoever doesn't get 1 we can make up for it later if we hunt something else, right? And they can get the other. So for now, 1 goes to Victoria, 1 goes to Nova, and then it's between TECLIS and KERTYC.
You can have it. It's fine.
Okay, so KERTYC got it.
What was
Right.
he put it on though?
It goes on experience
Yeah,
points.
experience.
It's just experience. So, thieves need 12 experience to level up. So,
Okay.
elves need 40. Magic users need 25.
Oh.
Yeah, they're a dual class, so they require a lot more experience to level. Let's see. All right. Next up is marching back to sell it off, and fortunately for you, it's a very large kill. You hold back. The four of you each take a leg and march it back. If we had one person dragging it, it would take forever. But with four men carrying one deer, right, you march normally, as if like you divide up the weight, right? So that way, you move like normal then, right? You're not slowed or delayed in your movement, and you march to the nearest camp, right? You saw on the way here multiple military campsites, right? So you're gonna march back to the one you saw earlier, which is toward the south, or you can march to the one you're headed toward. What would you prefer? The one you're headed toward is actually one of the largest ones in the region, right? It's the it's not a normal camp; it's a siege camp. So it doesn't just consist of military; it consists of other mercenaries, possibly adventurers, and miners and merchants, right? Other kinds of field specialists, right, to help with the siege.
Well, since we're already going to that direction, we should sell it to that one. It's just faster,
Yeah,
so we can just go
there's
ahead
more
and
there.
finish our adventure.
Okay.
Yeah, and it might be like a richer camp or something.
All right, sounds good. Just a moment. All right. So when you get there, you march toward the siege camp, and it's just positioned south of the range of grassy hills out here in these open plains. And among those grassy hills, you'll find the caves that belong to the kobolds that are currently, of course, guarded by troops from here, right? So you march toward the siege camp. You make your way to the entry point. Let's say you declare who you are, state your business as they would ask. Make your way in. It sounds like your plan is to sell off this deer immediately, right? So you would make your way through the siege camp, meet up with the merchants, right? They would look over your deer, and they would say, "Wow, this is a very good catch. Let's see, it's a very large deer here," and he's gonna analyze it and look it over before he offers a price. But do you guys want to? You guys can barter too if you want, if you're interested. Let's see.
Sure, I'll barter with them.
So, let's see.
What are we bartering?
Yep. So bartering the price. He wants to buy the deer, right? The buck that you got was maybe about 120 pounds, right? So you all were carrying 30 pounds on the way here, right? Which did not slow you guys down too much. Naturally, if one person dragged 120 pounds, they would be over encumbered, possibly just like slowly, Skyrim heavy encumbered marching, right? Slow march, encumbered march, right?
Right.
But fortunately, you split the weight and carried it here in no time, right? Because you only had 30 pounds extra to rock with, and you got to sell it. It's about 120 pounds of weight, meaning half of it is possibly meat. I'm gonna say about half of the weight, of course, is meat, and of course, bones and guts and fur. Overall, he's thinking that he's gonna offer you. Let's see, just a second, do some math real quick. 60.
A copper a pound would be good, not gonna lie.
Right. So he's offering you a total of 35 coppers for it. It's about 35 days of pay, right? It includes his payment for the skin and the meat and the bones. And technically, this is actually a very good deal. So a deer, typically, when you sell it, is only worth about half as much. Because we're out away from town, he's actually offering like double as much, right? Because you guys are far from home, right? Like far from the nearest meat settlement or whatever.
Sweet,
Can
let's take
I-
it.
Yeah, let's take it. And can Can we set up a contract with them where if we bring him deer, we can keep that going? Would he be interested in buying another deer?
Did you ask about
Or maybe
that?
not, because he's purchased that. That's gonna last a long time. What is it?
He would be glad to hear and glad to buy anything you hunt. He reacts right. He's very enthusiastic in the. Yeah, he says absolutely. I would be more than happy to strike a deal and be your deer marketer and buy your deer and sell it the deer's meat and fur for you, right? I'll of course pay you, and then from there I'll make profits from there on my own. But yes, just be wary of the law when it comes to hunting, right? And he kind of looks around for a second, make sure there's no guards are around. Hunting too much could get us in trouble, so make sure to bring them. There are some animals that are not off limits, but deer are one of the ones that cannot be overhunted in these lands, naturally. If they are killed off too quickly, there will be no deer left to hunt. He looks around, right, and says, just make sure you bring them in maybe like every couple of weeks instead.
Ask him
right?
if he knows anybody if they can breed for us.
I see. When you mean by overhunt, every couple weeks we could bring you one?
He nods. He says like, yeah, maybe every week you can bring one deer, right? So a couple weeks to be safe, but you know, minimum at least 1 week time frame before you hunt another deer, right? Give the deer a chance to continue living their life. It's also depending on the season of the year. Right now it is deer hunting season, right? It's fall, so it's a good time to hunt some deer. Let's see, because yeah, you especially don't want to hunt them when they're breeding, right? So this breeding season is off limits for sure, right? We overhunt during the breeding season. There's nothing left for next year or the following years, right? In these lands. So yeah, there's some animals that can be overhunted, like animals that are mass numbers, like pheasants and ducks and geese and all that. No one cares, right? But deer is one of the most prized animals in these lands because of how valuable their meat is if you manage to hunt one down, and fur, antlers, and all that. You hunted a very strong buck today, and fortunately it's legal because you're not poaching, and it's deer hunting season. And although you don't have a permit to hunt on these lands, it doesn't really matter because you're in the wilderness, right? No one owns these lands currently. Kind of owned by, you're hunting kind of in the territories of DELN, but again, it's not really. No one can really confirm that, right? Because it's not like there's a base or no one's watching. Anyway, the merchant purchased it, pays you guys very well. You can actually end the adventure here if you wanted to, but if you want to take more risks and get some more field experience, you'll more than likely have to continue the delve. Again, you got 35 coppers for this hunt, which is twice as much as usual. So
nice.
Right.
Maybe we could, if Victoria could rest to get her
spell back, yeah.
To get the sleep magic back, then we could go up, maybe, to go see around those kobolds. If we can stab something.
Yep. Also, we're gonna split the loot real quick. So, I would say it might be so 35 divided by 4. If we split it equally, it will be like, or maybe to make it simpler, because TECLIS did skip out on some funds, we can give them a little extra, and therefore make it easier to divide. So we'll do like 8 each, which will equal out to 32, and then he will get the remainder, which would be 3. So he would get 11, and everyone else get 8. Is that fine? Okay. Or should we do it that Victoria gets the extra? The other option is, of course, you can divide it equally, but one of you, because there's 4 of you, one of you will get 8, and the others will get 9. Does that make sense? Because 35 divided by 4.
Mm-hmm.
So equally split, one person gets 1 less.
Up to the party, but I might need money for spells and torches. But yeah, I know everyone else needs that too, I guess.
Okay, so TECLIS just advises that he needs a little more money for extra gear, if it's alright with everyone else. How do you guys want to split? The standard split is equal. Any Other ideas?
How do you... I did put it to sleep. I think I should get 9 as well.
Okay, yeah. So Victoria says as long as she gets 9. So Victoria will take 9. TECLIS, you can take 9. And between KERTYC and Nova, one of you should get 8. One of you should get 9.
I'll get 8.
Okay, very well. That solves it. So money is split. KERTYC gets 8 coppers. Nova, you get 9. Oops. And TECLIS has 9. And Victoria has 9. Okay. Alright. So you split the money. And with that, for the remainder of the day, because you got here at the time of roughly, let's see, 1, 2, 2.5 hours later, so it's about 10:30. It's about lunchtime. So if you want to recover your magic users or your if Victoria wants to recover her spell, we'll need 8 hours of rest. You have to head out in real life.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, we only been playing for about an hour. You didn't know? Like, okay. All right. Well,
Yes.
next time you play, make sure you can actually play for up to 3 hours, right? Just in case. But,
That's fine. Yep.
what do you guys think? Victoria's gonna head out. Do you guys want to continue campaigning? Because you need a minimum of 3, and you still have 3 if Victoria heads out. Do you guys want to keep going? Push on and with your plans?
If they're down.
Nova's down to go.
I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KERTYC
That
and
works with
TECLIS.
me.
Okay. Very well.
See you guys later.
See you later, Victoria.
Take care.
All right, we'll leave her at camp. So while she stays back at camp to just recover from the spell she casted, the 3 of you can actually push on and keep adventuring, right? KERTYC, Nova, and TECLIS. All right. Okay, we're an hour and 17 minutes in. Do you guys want a small break, or do you want to push on?
Push. I can push on.
Very good. All right.
We can push.
So after some lunch, you guys will have lunch here before we continue. You haven't had any breakfast yet, so we'll have a sort of a brunch at 10:30. Naturally, they can't give you the deer you just sold them because they have to still process the meat and prepare the meat. But there's food to buy here, right, at the siege camp. Unfortunately, the meals here are a little more expensive than you might like, due to the fact, of course, that you're not nearby any major settlements right now, right? That can so the food expenses are a little more pricier than usual. For 2 coppers, you can feed all 3 of you, right? Typically, 1 copper can feed all 3 of you, but this time, a hot ready meal costs 2 coppers here at the siege camp, right? It feeds all 3 of you. Food and drink for lunch or brunch period. Do you guys want to pay that? One of you can pitch in 1 each, right?
I'm an alchemist. Don't worry, guys. What do we need for alchemy?
If you want to do alchemy, well, you'll need a laboratory, and you'll need, of course, materials or components.
What does it take to be able to do that on the go?
On the go, you will probably need some type of alchemy kit, right? Like a pot, vials, utensils, materials, bags. It's probably not something you can do on the go. Yeah. You can save up for those kind of things, though, right? You might want to buy a wagon to just carry your laboratory equipment in, right? Eventually. Have a mobile lab, right?
Let's make the magic school bus.
Exactly.
In this case, we'll make a magic cart.
Right. Let's see. But in the meantime, for lunch hour, as you guys go in to get some food, right? Fill your bellies because your characters are starving. They have marched all morning and had nothing to eat. So to feed your guys, before we continue, it costs 2 coppers. Who's willing to pay?
Well, suppose we could pitch in 1.
TECLIS pitches in 1. Okay. I would say it might be best for Nova to pitch in the other, since KERTYC took 1 last earlier. That might make it fair.
Well, I'll pitch in 1. I don't care.
Okay.
What am I pitching in though?
1 copper, and each of you pitch in 1 except KERTYC because he has 8, right? Now you all have 8 coppers, and you all have had a brunch now. So you filled your bellies with the food that they can offer here, right? At the siege camp, right? Got some protein, some grain.
Well, can we split the last dude's money because he's probably not coming back?
Technically we can't. He earned that, so he's not come back for this particular game, but he could come back for other games. Honestly, he's actually an old player here. He has played over 100 games by now, I think. So you'll probably see him again if he come back to play. Yeah. He just had to drop out early for this one, I suppose. So his character is an NPC right now at the base, right? She says, you know, I'm gonna stay back, right? I've done enough today, and I think I'm gonna stay back and rest, right?
Okay.
So you guys can keep going.
Now that we've eaten, I guess could we march on forth?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So from here you march on toward the actual caves, right? Among the hills, the grassy hills out here. So you're 3 adventurers, a small team, right? Are visiting the caves in hopes to hunt some kobolds and possibly some treasure down in those caves. There are actually multiple sides you can approach the caves and multiple entrances. Right now you're toward the south, you're approaching the south cave entrance, but you've heard on the way here that there's actually 3 other entrances, the west, east, and north cave. And the mission, or the campaign, of course, against these kobolds, is to either kill every last one in level 1, that to force them to possibly surrender. The goal is to win the war, right? So to force the enemy to either give in, right, and surrender, or again to kill every last one, right, that opposes the what we want, right, which is to secure their caves and make peace in these lands again, right? To fight them off to the point where they don't want to continue raiding, right? So payment. When it comes to payment, adventurers typically are getting paid a 10-day wage for 1 kill. So you get 10 coppers per kill. Typically, kobolds are only worth 5 coppers. They're level 0 monsters. But because we're at war with them, the pay period has been doubled, and you're getting twice as much for every kobold soldier you kill. Every kobold soldier is getting you 10 coppers, 10 days pay. To give you an idea of how much that's like, 10 days pay is almost like $1,000 US, right? That's gonna say, you know, no work for 10 days, right? It's really nice, right?
And we need to bring proof back of each kill.
Yes,
an
their
eye
head.
or a head or something like this.
Yep, it is required for you to bring their heads back in this for the current contract. So that's paid for by the town. So the town of DELN itself uses the tax money of its citizens to pay for protection fees and such. And in this case, to pay for any monster hunter contracts, right? And proof of kill includes or requires at least a head, right? So let's see. All right, it's time to begin the slaughter, right, or the hunt. So, do you guys want to approach the south cave or a different cave entrance? The closest cave to the siege camp is the south cave, and you've heard of decent progress. If you want to go and find out more information, you can, but you've heard it's currently somewhat secured, and the last group to go in there actually was somewhat successful. One of their members, believe, or actually their whole crew was pretty successful. The last group to have gone into the south cave. If you want to try a different cave entrance, though, you could as well. There's 4 total.
Do we know, or I guess maybe would have gotten information beforehand, like which cave is the least infested with them?
Yeah, you've heard that the only recent progress that's been made against the caves recently is the south cave. So all the other cave entrances are a fresh approach, right? The entrance to south is secured from the outside by troops, right, from down. But going in as a dungeon delver, only a few ever do that. The only most skilled and qualified, and that's adventurers, right? You guys are dungeon delvers, and typically only.
Is our game merged with other people's progress too?
Yeah, it's a collective thing. If you look into campaign reports, there's tons of different reports on every different crew that has gone in, right? So, yeah, it's a campaign, right? So It's a pick up and play campaign. So every time you play, you're with a different crew, depending on who's playing that day. So, and you continue making
okay, that's
progress
cool.
across the land, right, against all these different.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
ones. We've got to head out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Thank you for playing, brother. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Dang. All right. Unfortunate. Upon arrival, you had a 3-man team, which is the minimum required for a party, right? With him being lost, right? Him heading back, maybe cold feet, whatever reason, we don't have a party anymore. So, if you really, really want to, you can continue forward, but it's not recommended. At this point, you will probably have to call it quits and head on back to base as well. What do you think? You want to press your luck with only a 2-man team?
I don't
there's
mind
3
going
of us
forward
here.
as long as I don't think Odin is in this.
Yeah, he's not. It's just you and Nova.
I am not.
I don't mind going forward if we play smart. I mean, we're both ranged attackers, so as long as we don't get into like a scuffle, I think we'll be okay. But if there's like a horde of them, right, we're gonna have to run away.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't mind going forward if you don't mind.
Yeah, because you and me are both like the assassins, so yeah, we're good.
If we kill a few, run back, we should be fine. But if we see a horde, we gotta book it.
Yep, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, nice. You're brave today, braver than most crews. And with only a 2-man team, you'll begin the delve. And you're choosing to try the south cave, or do you want to try a different one?
Yeah, we gotta do the south cave because we can't. We go into any of those other ones without more aid, we're gonna die.
Right. All good. Yep. So the two of you make your way toward the south cave from the siege camp. You march over to the hills. You make your way through the valleys. You approach the south cave entrance, which is occupied and secured by a small force of soldiers from DELN. Right. They're DELN troops. Right. The job of these soldiers is to defend and hold positions that adventurers secure. Right. So soldiers typically and mercenaries do very similar things. They typically only hold, and soldiers will sometimes attack, but usually defend. Mercenaries will typically only defend and rarely ever attack, at least in the dungeon. And adventurers will rarely have to defend, and they're always sent in to attack. Right. So, all right. So, given that there's actually already a campaign map drawn out by the last group who went here to map and explore, you will update this map as you go, but this is where the map left off last time. They managed to secure the first cave of the south cave and the first intersection, right? An alcove north of that. These tokens on the board represent where soldiers are typically positioned to guard the areas of the cave that have been cleared out of enemy forces and all that. So, let's see. Last crew that went in lost 2 guys. Polmac and Barum died, belonging to House Low, and then a few survivors were in their team. Let's see. These guys were pretty successful, but we're gonna get you guys on the board as well. So upon approaching, adventurers will typically map as they explore. Mapping assumes careful movement, observation, and of course, drawing up a map as you go. Right? Naturally, mapping is not able to be done in the middle of combat typically. Right? It can be done in middle combat if it's really necessary, but typically combat will be theater of the mind, right? You might get some idea of the mapping, right? But for the most part, I only update or draw out the map for you here if your characters are actively choosing as their action to map, right? So that's how it goes in our game when it comes to mapping and seeing the board, right? So the board is only shown, again, all this is only shown if your characters are actively drawing out and looking over their map. Otherwise, it's just theater of the mind. So, you're outside the cave entrance, which is about 10 feet wide, and looking down into the cave, right? You can see that it continues for another 10 feet into the first actual cave, which is continuing northwest. It's a very large and open cave, about 20 feet north to south, about 40 feet east to west. Again, it continues northwest. So if you followed with what I described, that should be the same description as what is shown here on your map. A 10-foot wide cave entrance, 10 feet deep tunnel leading to a cave that continues northwest, It is 20 feet north to south, 40 feet east to west, right? There's one exit to the far northwest. It is a tunnel beyond the exit, another 10 foot by 10 foot tunnel leading toward an intersection. The cave is, of course, occupied and secured by a few soldiers right now, right, that are encamped. And,
Alright, just give us the main entrance.
right. So, with that, we'll also get you guys some tokens on the board to represent your position as you begin mapping out the area. Let's see. So, Nova and TECLIS, right? Since you're new, typically I will grab around tokens for you, but I'll let you guys pick since it's your first time. So, Nova or KERTYC, if you see a token you like, just let me know. And by the row and column, I'll grab it for you.
Oh, I really grabbed 2 looking assassins.
Alright, that was the complete list. Let's see.
Unless you just kind of look for like 2 hooded men.
Okay, let's see. We go for something like this. And
That's a little too chainy, but yeah, that's alright, I guess.
well, yeah. In the game, you can wear hoods if you want, but you're issued a
I want a
helmet.
hood.
It will cost 1 copper. When you're back in town, you can buy one. Helps conceal your character. Provides protection against the environment. Let's see. But at the moment, you don't actually own a hood. You own a helmet. You're a
Nigga, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have a hood. What?
Yeah, you don't have a
Alright,
hood.
look, let's fast travel back to the town.
You want to go back to town to buy a hood?
Yeah. I want to make sure I'm geared out. Because he doesn't have... Wait, do you want a hood? Because you're probably going to want a hood too, right?
You both have helmets on.
We don't need a hood to kill things.
Well, to get the sneaking advantage, though.
To sneak on an enemy, you have to go unheard and unseen, typically. They're more than likely going to see you and hear you, right? If you're noisy, in the lighting conditions, you're going to have to carry a torch no matter what, so they'll be able to see you. What you want, though, is concealment or the ability to hide and make less noise, right? So upon initial approach, they won't exactly know your exact position when you engage sometimes, right? When you enter and start to clear a room. But yeah, typically when it comes to scouting in a dungeon, it's kind of difficult to do that without being spotted, right? Because you have a light that you need to see, right? So what you want is the ability to not make so much noise, right? That you can still kind of get the drop on them. But for the most part, if you're besieging a position, it's hard to sneak unless your crew is already engaged in combat with the enemy, right? And naturally, your sounds will be deafened by the sound of combat. No one would hear you sneaking around because there's already lots of noise being made, right? So you won't really have to worry about noise or sneaking out all too much, unfortunately, because it's almost impossible to sneak in. When it comes to going into a dungeon, at least. In the wilderness,
I have a
it's
question.
fine, right? Because you have the moonlight.
What's
Yeah,
the
up?
stream chat?
That is just a random chatter, it looks like. Yelling my name, I think. I don't know.
Are you streaming?
Yes. Streaming it
Where are you streaming?
on the screen.
Oh, like this screen?
Yeah. Alright, well, I guess can we move forward then?
Yep, you could. Yep, so you can begin the delve. Now, as you make your way in, you can choose what you want to equip, right? So, TECLIS, looks like you've got your sling, right? And you can light a torch so you can see.
Yep.
And then, of
I have
course...
dark vision, but I don't know if my friend here
no, he doesn't. Yeah. And OD&D, dark vision doesn't exist. And in our game, you do have another version of vision. It's called night vision. And so in low lighting, you're able to see normally in black and white, like a dog, right? So you have night vision. So under the moonlight, it's decent. In dim torch lighting or candlelight, it's good. But no one in the game can see in absolute darkness, including monsters typically, unless they're a reptile and have heat vision like infravision, right? But no matter what most monsters see by in the dark, if they're in complete darkness, is they don't see at all. They use echolocation possibly, or they listen for you, right? So that gives you a chance to also. You can actually explore the dungeon in complete darkness if you want to go by just sound, right? And tapping the floors and all that, like a deaf person or a blind and deaf person, right? And you won't be deaf possibly, right? You would be blind though in darkness. So unless there's a ton of noise being made, then you might also be deafened. But yeah, typically if you're a thief and you want to sneak in there, your best bet is to go in blind, right? And just use your hearing ability to sense what you're doing and your sense of direction, right? So you carefully advance through a dark cave, right?
So I guess I'll light it up for you, and you go on ahead.
Okay, he can scout right at the edge of the torchlight. So.
And I guess we'll just walk up to like one of the new caves because these are posted with guards that are already taken care of.
It's already cleared out. So, do you guys want to? So you want to have Nova scout up ahead as you
Yeah, that's cool with you.
Yeah, I can do that.
So, Nova, do you want this one on the left or the one on the right between these two tokens?
Put the one on the right for me because I have the crossbow.
Sounds good. Alright, this one represents TECLIS. So you make your way into the cave, and the first soldier you see in the cave tunnel reports to you, right? He's like, "Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome back. The southern cave is currently secure at this time. A few of the caves have been cleared out, but east of the tunnel, beyond this cave, past the intersection, we've been hearing some monsters in the area. Just be careful. I believe that the kobolds have made their way out from the various exits in the green slime-filled chamber. Be wary of the kobolds. Naturally, these caves belong to the kobolds until we can take them back and clear them out for good. Good hunting to you, soldiers," right? And he clears the way for you, right? So you can just move past. So he just reports
Thank
the
you, sir.
situation. Yeah. Alright, so now that you're in the first cave, you can continue either west, northwest, north, or something else, right? There are a couple soldiers in here occupying and guarding this particular cave at this time.
Well, he said east. The monsters were east,
Yep.
so I guess we'll go scout up there.
He said, "Yep, they'll be east of the intersection." So make your way toward the next exit. The troops tell you, of course,
I'll
noises
greet
have
all
been
the
heard.
soldiers, be like, good day, good day.
Right.
Please don't rest on the job, or we'll get killed in the night.
Soldier nods. They're all like, good morning, gentlemen," right? And this one's like, "Absolutely not. We will make sure to stay awake and alert."
All right, and if you hear screaming,
Right.
tell
Their
my
job.
family I love them.
He nods. "Best of luck," right? So this last adventure before you hit the intersection reports that the dog noises have been heard down the tunnel. There should be enemies just beyond the tunnel, right? So be careful. You're about to engage an enemy force soon. So. Right.
All right. I'll tell them maybe if the enemies if they're led back this way, would they be able to fire on them?
Yep, that's their job. So they are here to defend the already taken position if possible. But if not possible, they are ordered to retreat, right? Withdraw. So their job is to mainly hold the line, though. Right? So.
I ready my sling, and then I'll beckon Nova to go forth then.
Okay. Nova, you're moving down the tunnel, right? Carefully moving. You guys can begin sneaking now to not make as much noise, right? So you can possibly get the drop on them. They might be able to see you, but if they don't hear you, it's gonna be a little more difficult to know where to look, right? So you sneak down the dried blood-stained tunnel here in the cave, and toward a cave that continues northeast. And you can see toward the center, it was reported that the floor would be covered in green slime, but that's no longer the case. Instead, you see a very smooth and somewhat corroded floor. Smooth and corroded, if that's even possible. But yeah, it's like smoothed out and a little bit of corrosion, right? So smooth and corroded.
The whole floor with hinted in this corrosion.
Yeah. So parts of it look like it's been smoothed out, while other parts look corroded, right? So smooth and corroded to mix. And that's sort of center of the floor,
We'll
center of the cave.
try to step on the smooth parts in case there's some fuck shit on the floor.
Alright, so that's just toward the center. Everything else around it is normal cave floor that you've been walking across. So it's like rough, uneven cave floor. So as you make your way in carefully, right? Nova moving up ahead, latchet in hand, right? Like crossbow. You notice, of course, there's the reported or mapped out 44 10-foot pole barricade. So it's a barricade made out of 44 10-foot poles. You know, you're carefully moving in, clearing the room. This is now, you're now entering, of course, enemy territory. So we're gonna check if it's clear first. So there's 4 unknown areas, right? We're gonna check if there's any signs of danger. And fortunately for you, as you move in carefully, the cave itself, it's clear, right? You peek and sort of like look around the dead space here, right? Peek the corner. And the next area up ahead, besides this barricade, is another exit, the 10-foot wide tunnel that continues north. We'll check if it's clear as well. Right. Possibly not clear. Right. So you look down, and fortunately, as you peek with the torchlight, the tunnel is clear. You do see on the other side of the cave, piled up along the corner here. I'll draw this out real quick. So piled over here toward the northeast corner is a bunch of corroded and damaged armor and weapons, right? All organic matter on them has been melted off, so it's just kind of like the metal bits, right? So it's corroded armor and weapons, just kind of piled to the northeast. It's about maybe 400 coppers worth of corroded and piled armor and weapons. So various
Would they be
helmets.
worth that much, or are they just not worth anything because they're broken?
If you were to sell it, it'd be worth maybe 100 coppers, right? For the right buyer.
I mean, between the two of us is 50 copper.
Yeah. The only issue is the weight, right? The weight of it is about 400 pounds of various armor and weapons.
It's actually
all
not
corroded,
bad, like 400 pounds. I mean,
Yeah, so
that's heavy, but it's not like incarryable.
Possible, yeah. So if you had backpacks, a team, right? Maybe some carts or whatever, you could haul it out, right? For now, you can grab an armful of it and sell it, right? So
Yeah, that works.
if you're interested, right? Again, any organic matter was melted off, so like shades are gone, straps are gone, right? It's just like the metal bits. So there's helmets mostly.
Yeah.
It's mostly just helmets, metal bits from armor. There's little to no body armor here, and the majority of it is just weapon pieces, like the spear tips or spearheads, axe heads, dagger and sword blades and hilts and such. And
Are any of the swords just ruined too?
yeah, all the swords are ruined as well for the most part.
Oh well, I guess we'll just take like what we can carry, and we'll come back for the rest later.
Okay, how would you like to approach? just northeast?
We should
or...
go around the smooth and corroded area because that's fuck shit.
Okay,
Like
yeah, let's just sort
up
of
and
center.
around maybe.
Okay, so around it, north and around. Okay. Carefully moving across the cave floor. The tunnel here is clear. At the far end, you see a stone door. It's currently shut.
You have any ways to open that? It's locked.
Doesn't seem to have a lock mechanism from this side. So you might have to force it open or take it down with a pickaxe or something, right? Blow it up. Who knows, right? So just a stone slab for a door. Large piece of stone, flat stone. It's just there at the doorway. It's currently shut. Alright, so you make your way around and you found a pile of loot here. But so far, this entire cave area is clear of enemies. The only way forward is either through this barricade that you can move. It's just consisting of 10-foot poles. Or, of course, that stone door, if you want to make any further progress through this cave. But yeah, you start to haul out the treasure.
Barricade is the way to go, because that stone door is probably be hard to open, and even if we do open it, there's probably shit behind it.
Can we picklock it?
There's no lock to pick, though. That's the thing. It's just a stone slab.
Yeah. So we could check out the barricade. I guess could we see maybe if this barricade is trapped or there's something fishy about?
Oh, it's a barricade. Yeah.
Yeah, you could try to check for that. Do you want to check now, or do you want to pick up some loot first?
Yeah, I'll just pick up some loot first.
If you guys want, let's see if you guys have any bags. Nova does not have a bag, and TECLIS has a knapsack. So the knapsack already has some stuff in there, but not a lot of stuff. It has about 5 pounds worth of stuff, so, or no, it has about maybe 10 pounds worth of stuff. So you can carry 10 pounds worth of stuff of these metal bits and armor pieces. So yeah, it's about 400 pounds, right? 400 lb worth of damaged armor and weapons, and it's, you know, every 4 pounds you're gonna get maybe 1 copper. So
come back later with more bags, I guess.
Yep, for now, if you want, you can, I mean, since the position is somewhat secure, no monsters in sight, you can take the time to just make a bunch of trips back and forth,
like
carrying the...
I think, yeah, we should just do that. I mean, there's no monsters here. We have guards everywhere. I think we're just going to take tons of trips, because this is a ton of money for us here.
If the room is cleared, the guards can actually move in, right? If it's fully cleared of monsters.
Yeah, I'll call over to them and say, this room is clear. There's a door north, and there's a barricade there. I wouldn't touch it.
Alright, you want to call back to them and let them know? Right.
Yeah, I also tell them not to go around the corroded floor, because it could be trapped.
Right. So, yeah, you're carefully making your way around, and as you're moving in toward tell the guards something, right? TECLIS, you know, you move around the corner to tell the guards that it's clear, but as you do that, you feel something drip on your helmet, right? Like something dripped on your helmet, and you hear like a sizzling. Nova, you saw it, right? It's on his helmet. Something dripped from the ceiling on his helmet. It starts to sizzle on his helmet, right? It's something green. What do you want to do? Another drip. Something's dripping on you, TECLIS. What do you want to do?
I'll look up.
You look up and you see a massive green slime above you.
Ooh.
It looks like it's about to drop down. Do you want to make a move? Or...
I'll run up north away from the slime.
Okay. Nova's in the way, right? So Nova, you see something dripping on TECLIS, getting ready to...
I call out and I'll just say, yeah, there's a slime there, we gotta move.
Okay, so...
I'll just yell that out.
Nova, what do you want to do in response? You can shoot it, you can back up,
Yeah.
you can try something else.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave, man. So, thank you for the opportunity to play.
Oh.
Yikes.
He drops out of the expedition. So Nova, if his player leaves, his character also possibly leaves, right? Or breaks morale. He automatically loses morale. So Nova sees that slime and sees that there might not be a way out. So he starts running around, right? He's like, he panics. He runs around you and as he runs around you, you back up, but that thing, whatever it is, right, it's on the ceiling, and it, you know, it's covering a 10-foot area. So while you guys were busy grabbing that loot and all that, that thing was moving toward the exit to ambush you, right? It's like waiting for you guys to leave. So it's actually technically right here.
As I
So
as
if
I
you
drop
backed up-
back, I'd like to extend my hand, and if I can, could I cast magic missile at it?
Yes, you could. Okay, I think the player left too.
So I'll do that.
Okay, so yeah, you're casting magic missile at it, right? But as you're in the middle of casting, Nova, his player is running, right? As long as there's a chance for him to run, he's gonna run. So he runs and he falls victim to the trap, right? So he's running away, and the slime is above him, and it plops down on him and covers him in slime, right? So he crushes the floor. The weight of the slime encases him, right? He's just covered in green slime and goop. And you cast a magic missile at it, and go ahead and roll 1d6 for damage.
Okay, it's 1d6 plus 1, I think.
Yep, you're right. 1d6 plus 1 damage.
It's 5 damage.
Alright, so 5 damage total. So let's see if it survives. It's still alive. You blew up a good chunk of it, but it's still covered. Nova is still covered with a good chunk of the slime, right? So it's like starting to consume him, right? It's like on top of him. You blew up like half of it. The half that blew up like immediately dissipates, right, from the magical force that it was hit with. So it just sizzles on the ground and starts to crunch and turn into a solid, not so slimy substance anymore, just like a dried up piece of slime, right? But Nova, on the other hand, he's just being melted away by it. He's screaming in pain, ah, right? So he broke morale.
I'll yell out to the guards and I'll say, "Fire at this thing! Fire at it immediately!"
Right. And they're gonna make a morale check to see if they'll listen to you, right? Make a discipline check. Your charisma is 7, so they refuse to take your orders. They actually hold fire and refuse to fire, and they say, "That thing, it's too dangerous," right? And the other one says, "They can't be fired, or they can't be harmed by normal weapons. Get out of there while you can," right? So as he's being eaten by the slime, you can try to sneak around.
While he's being eaten, could I throw my torch at it?
You could.
Try to burn it?
Yeah. Do you want to light a different torch before you do that, or do you want to just throw your only torch?
If I have time to do it, I can, but I have night vision if it goes dark.
True, that's true. All right, yeah, you have time. It's only eating Nova, so you're just standing there, right? You got plenty of time.
I'll light 2 or 3 torches, and I'll just try and stick them in it, or throw it and burn it basically.
So yeah, you light a few torches. You grab 2 other torches to light and stick them in the old torch and the fresh torch, and keep one for yourself. Or do you want to put all 3 in it?
Go big or go home.
All right.
I stick all 3 of them in it, try to burn it alive, and then I'll move 10 feet back if I can.
Yep. So you grab 2 other torches, light all 3, or light the 3 total, right? You stuff them in. As you stuff it into the slime that's eating Nova, Nova is being melted at the moment, right? If he dies, it will look bad on you possibly, right? Because he's your comrade. But it might not matter because he's of a very weak household anyway, and his player left, so he's probably the last of his house. If you save him, at least he gets to live to tell a tale, and will, as an NPC, have high respect for TECLIS, right? So, because once a player leaves for good, the character just retires and becomes an NPC. So Tech.
I mean, if I can save him, I'll try, but if not, then that is what it is.
You start to stuff the torches in him. Unfortunately, the torches also deal damage to him, right? So they're starting to, you stick them in, and the slime actually starts to blow up and bubble up. It's reactive to the fire, and blows up and explodes in flame.
I'm running the fuck away now.
So he's on fire, and the slime's on fire, and you run away. And he explodes in flames from it. The slime is very flammable, right? It's melting very quickly, and it just blows up into... it melts down into... It burns very violently for a few seconds until it simmers down into like a rocky, hard, crusty substance, right? You escape it. But Nova is actually killed in the process, unfortunately. So you survive to live the tale. You got a kill. That thing you killed is a green slime. It's a trap monster.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You won.
What good you did? You look at the guards.
Right.
Man just died because you wouldn't fire at.
Let's see how the guards react to this. They are uneasy, not sure how to react, right? They're just stepping back, maybe ashamed, right?
I won't talk too much shit to them. I was afraid to, honestly.
So yeah, they ate up Nova. At least you kind of avenged him. You killed. He was bound to die anyway. He was covered in slime, so you killed it at least. So he's dead. He's dead. The slime is dead, and you feel that you've gained experience from that fight. That fight actually awards you, I think, 2 XP. So you went up 2 XP just now. And you were one of the guys who got none earlier, so you got 2 now. So you're actually the most experienced out of the 3, or out of the 4 of your team. But now that Nova's dead and melted a bit, burned a bit, being that you're the only one, do you want to just wrap it up here, grab some loot, or drag Nova's remains out and grab what you can?
Yeah, what I'm gonna do to finish this up is I'm gonna do a lot of paces back and forth to get that loot and basically sell it, and then I'm going to hopefully put Nova to rest and afterwards, yeah.
All right.
Assuming that there's not a crazy amount of danger left, and yeah, that's what I'll do.
Yep, the guards agree to go in and guard the position, as it is their job to guard areas that adventurers clear. You will make the process of dragging Nova out of the cave to be buried and send his gear home to his family. It will give you a good reputation, right? Take care of your dead. And for the loot, you'll make the slow process of hauling all the loot out yourself. An armful of loot, you can get about 10 pounds every armful. So it would take you about like 40 trips, right? To get all 400 pounds. And every trip is about, you're just grabbing and jogging out of here, right? So I would say every trip maybe
I'm
is
decently strong, decently dexterous.
and maybe eventually some of the guards will come and help you out. And if they help you though, they'll probably want some of the profit. So do you want to do it by yourself, or do you want their help?
I'll get one. I'll pay like one guy like 10 of the copper to like help me out.
Okay, yeah. So you promise him
Like one
400.
guy doubles the amount of speed.
Yep. All right. So the only cost here now is any wandering encounters. So every 10 minutes in the dungeon, there's a chance for wandering monsters to approach the sound of your crew, right? Or the guards guarding positions, right? Either from the north or east, they can choose to assault your current position or make an attack. Let's see. So if they want, so not always, but there's a chance for an encounter every 2 rounds. Alright, not rounds, turns. Every turn is 10 minutes. Again, every trip, let's say you grab, you're running out a total of like 50, 100, 150-ish feet. I don't know, deal really quick. That's 40. It's about maybe like 75 feet back. So 150 feet is one trip, out and back in. I'm gonna
With
say
dash, I could maybe make
yeah,
that fast.
sprinting, plus exhaustion and rest. Overall, I'm gonna say you can get it all out in 4 turns. So in 40 minutes, you can get all 100 out. So basically, you get 100 pounds out every
That's
10
not
minutes.
bad, yeah.
So I think that's
Yeah,
fair.
that's not
right?
bad.
It's like a minute for 10 pounds, right? So just a huge exercise for your character, right? Just grab, haul, jog out, set it down, right?
Yes.
Eventually,
Farmer walk.
yeah, exactly. So very good workout for you, carrying all that loot out with the help of a mercenary in the area or a soldier. You pay him and he will help you. It'll double the speed then, right? 2 people doing it at once. So instead of 4 turns, it'll do 2 turns only. Therefore, there's only 1 encounter check. So we gotta do a noise check and encounter check, and if it rolls a 1, there's a monster encounter. Like a monster hears you guys and might choose to attack while you guys are working. Alright. Fortunately, we got lucky. 6 is the best. It's just opposite. So no monster encounters during your during the treasure haul, right? So you guys carried out the damaged armor and weapons, which it's about 400 copper pieces or 100 pounds of damaged armor and weapons, mostly consisting of metal bits, right, of armor and weapons. The price that you're selling it for because it's damaged, it went down to 50%. And because you're selling it, it went down to 50%. Because when you sell, the sell price is always 50% of what it's worth when it comes to gear. So technically, if you bought this stuff, it would be worth maybe 200. But because you're selling it, it's 100. Yeah. So all right. So you get 100 coppers total for it, and you're gonna pay 10% of it toward your helper, right? Who helps carry the treasure out for you. You had to secure this treasure by killing no one else could do it because they weren't skilled enough and brave enough to fight the green slime. As you can tell, it costed the life of Nova, but you were able to finish it, right, and kill it. You figured out how to kill it. Not everyone knows how to kill it, but they told you that it can't be harmed by normal weapons, and they didn't have any other ways to kill it. You did a lot of damage with magic. Magic missile was really effective for sure against magical monsters. And then of course you killed it with fire, which is really good. Melted that thing. It was like some weird anomaly, right? Green massive slime.
Thank God I brought torches.
Yeah, very effective weapon against them. In the end, you profited 900 coppers from that. Or not 900, 90 coppers. I mean, it was 100 coppers total.
So, 90, yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
Sitting on 98 copper, is that a lot of money?
It's a decent haul, yeah. You should be able to equip your character properly in your next game. So you get good armor, weapons.
Awesome.
Yeah, hire some troops. Yep. The guy that you hired on, you just offered it to a random guard outside. Getting 10% of the profits, he reacted kind of poorly. He kind of wishes he got a little more. But you can, of course, just give him the 10%. So he accepts it, but he also wishes he got more, realizing how much it was valued at, right? So you said you would give him 10 coppers, but he didn't realize it was 10 coppers was only 10%. He would prefer maybe like 25% of the loot, but you give him 10%, which is not bad out either. It's just for just carrying the loot out, right? But
yeah, I mean, you're getting 10 days worth of pay.
Yeah, 10 days worth of pay. Looting job, looters, that's actually an occupation. There's 3 types of retainers. Non-combatants, combatants, and adventurers, right? Which do both non-combat and combat roles. And typically looters are only paid 1 copper a day, and more on if they're at risk, if their life is at risk. But typically they only get paid 1 copper. He's getting paid 10 times as much as the standard looter. So he kind of just spoiled because he's a soldier. That's it.
Before we end off, could I buy some gear back if I head back to like the army camp?
Yep. You can either head there or you can make your way back to down, right? To base. So base town is down.
Wherever's closer, I guess. Yeah.
The issue if you buy gear here, it's twice as much, right?
It's gonna be harder. I could get some food there, so eat, and then because I just worked hard, and then travel back there.
Yep. It's only about a 2-hour trip back to town, so on foot.
Oh yeah, that's nothing. Yeah, I'm an elf. I live a long time. 2 hours. It's a blink of an eye.
Yeah, just a 2-hour hike back to town. It's only town is only about 3-ish miles away, so.
I'll just trot over there,
Or 4 miles, I mean.
Safest way that I can.
By road, it's 4 miles. Yeah. Okay. Your course travel is the same as earlier, so you're going to take the road for a bit, march south through friendly territory, and then west to the river, follow the river all the way to friendly lines, cross the bridge, make your way back to town. So yeah, you will sell your loot here at the merchant caravan, which gives you money for it, so you don't have to carry all this weapon and armor back to down. If you sold it at down, you might have made a little more money, but 100 coppers is
it would have taken way too long.
Yeah, that's too far away to carry 400 pounds of random bits of armor and weapons. Let's see. But now you can buy, with that money, you can buy actually good weapons and armor, right? Let's see. Alright. So yeah. Congratulations. I'm glad you had the initiative and will to push on. Most players would drop out if they saw all the other PCs dropping out, because morale, just like in the game for NPCs, if we lose men, right, the NPCs actually get a morale check and possibly will flee or surrender. And for players, their morale check is based on their own morale in real life, and if players die or leave the game, that usually causes the rest of the players to follow suit to die in or leave the game too. But you stayed to the very end, so
well,
yeah, appreciate that.
I'm Not to be rude or anything, I'm used to unreliable teammates.
Damn, yeah. Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, you're a strong one. You're definitely a struggler because not a lot of people here are willing to push through to the end sometimes, especially if the crew is completely just wiped out or disbanded, right? Like
Permission
what
to
happened
speak?
today. What's up?
I'm asking if I have permission to speak
Oh,
now,
yeah, go ahead.
considering that
Yeah.
he did kind of end it. Yeah, that was a very ballsy move. Even by my
Solo.
standards, I wouldn't fucking have done it.
Yeah. Gold is a very safe player, and because of that, he survives many games. Usually. Though progress is a bit
Usually.
slow. Yeah. Sometimes he gets a big
I mean,
progress spike, right? When things go well. But yeah.
Well, back at Delman, may I buy a few things before I end off here?
Yep. Safe travels so far, it looks like. No encounters up here. Let's check for down here. Alright, 2 1s indicate an encounter. No encounters on the way back to down. So at roughly, because you were in the dungeon for about 30 minutes total. You had lunch for about an hour. Or you didn't actually even have to eat after that delve, technically. Because you already had brunch. So you didn't have to pay any money for that. Marching back, you will get back to down at 1400 hours, 2 p.m., 2 in the afternoon. The day shift ends at 4 p.m., so there's 2 hours left of work. So you get done with work 2 hours early. Let's see. But yeah. Back and down, you survive, succeeded. Yeah. What's up?
I'm sorry, I was yeah, back at Deln, I'm assuming it's like a market I could go to for like adventurers, because this is like a common town for that kind of thing.
Yep, you're in the market area now, so you walk through the town streets, you make your way into the markets. You can start stocking up on armor and weapons now if you'd like. I'll show you the listing. Let's see. So, new armor, you can hire troops, you can buy gear, right? All sorts of things. First thing you want to get...
Suppose armor
armor.
Would be pretty good, huh?
Yep, it would be very, very advisable. So you have a helmet on, that's about it. If you want, you can trade it out and buy a heavy helm, which is a full helm, right? So this is a full helm.
How much for like some plate armor?
Plate armor is the best armor in the game. It's I think 250.
Oh, yikes.
You don't have enough yet. What you do have enough for is a heavy gambeson, right? Which is a full body padded armor. It can be worn under mail and plate, right? So you can wear layers of armor in OD&D. So there's 3 layers. There's the light, medium, and heavy layer, right? So there's only one type of, or there's a couple types of light armor. There's like furs and stuff, but they're not effective. The only effective ones, gambesons, akatins. Then there's the mail. There's 3 sizes of mail: halbergans, halberks, and such, right? And it's full body mail, right? So chain shirt, chain, long sleeve shirt, you know, all sorts of sizes basically. And then of course there's cuirasses. That's where there's the most difference. There's many kinds of cuirasses: lamellar, brigandine, scale, and plate.
What do you recommend I get? Because I just want some better protection.
I'm gonna recommend first thing is body armor. So you're gonna want a heavy gambeson first. It costs only 10 coppers total and gives you -2 armor class bonus, which is huge. Let's see.
Is having lower AC better?
Yeah, in OD&D lower AC is better. Let's see.
All right, yeah, I'll buy that one then.
So heavy gambeson. Next, oh, this is the wrong sheet. Oops.
I think that was on Honestly's.
Yeah, wrong sheet. My bad. Okay. All right. Next is you need to upgrade your helmet to a full helm. So you get normal helmet protects your head and neck typically, but a full helmet also protects your face. Let's see. So with the full helmet now, next you're gonna want either chain armor, right, mail, or you're gonna want a cuirass, or both, right? Chain armor costs 50 coppers, if you're willing to pay that. You're at.
What kind of benefits does it give?
It's metal armor. It makes a lot of noise. It's a bit heavy, but it gives you a -2 armor class bonus. And you can wear it on top.
4.
Yep. You can wear it on top if
Is
you're.
that really good?
It's really good. Yeah. The next one best is to get a Curious, right? Either Scale or Lamellar is what you can afford, I think. But first, let me check how much money you've got left over. Let's see. You spent only 15 on the helmet and the gambeson, so you're at 83 coppers left.
And I know the helmet protects the face. Does it do anything else mechanically?
Yep, it obscures vision if the visor's closed. It makes it hard to hear. It protects you against the environment, possibly, and protects you against so like environment being like spores, possibly, or other chemicals, right? It's face and head protection. It can also, let's see. Oh yeah, any damage you take to your head, when it comes to armor, whether it's body or head, if you have armor on, it will halve the damage if you're hit, right? Because when you're hit, the hit makes contact with either the weak point of your armor or the armor itself. So if it's the armor itself, you only receive concussive force. You typically can't be killed by concussive force, but you can be rendered unconscious. Right. Oh yeah, what's up?
Is the only way you can gain more hit points through leveling up?
There's training. Yep, you can train. If you want, your character can pay for conditioning fees.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Could I buy some training?
Yep. So you would pay for your training expenses. And the idea is that your character's been training for a while. He's always non-stop training after work, and he finishes his training period. Because you're already so low in hit points, your training is actually cheaper than most people. So naturally, more trained up you are already, the higher it is to get more advanced training. And how hit point training works is it's 1 silver per hit point to train up your hit points. Because you only have 1 hit point, it only costs you 1 silver, which is 10 coppers. If you had like 4 hit points, it would cost you 40 coppers to train your hit points, right? So it's really cheap for you to train your hit points.
Okay,
right now.
I think here's the plan. I buy the chain armor, which puts me to -4 or to 4 AC, right?
Okay, yep. 33 coppers, chain armor, and your starting armor class was 9, right? With the helmet it was 8, but with the heavy helmet it became 7, and with the gambeson, heavy gambeson became 5. And with your dexterity bonus it becomes 4, right? Because you have a high dexterity, so you have AC 4, right? And how AC works is AC is the number that the monsters add to their attack roll. So when they try to hit you, so they would add only 4 versus 9, right? Which is no armor.
And the 50 copper thing I bought made it -2.
Yeah, so you're at 4 now because of that. And that was the mail armor.
Okay.
Chainmail.
And now I think it would be good to get more hit points because I mean I need.
Yes,
I have 1
yes.
hit point.
I highly recommend. That's a good investment. It only costs 10 coppers for you
Yeah.
because you're already so low. So that's the nice part about being an underdog is that you can actually training for you is less expensive, and there could be a huge increase, like a huge sudden increase. So how it works is you can either take a +1 bonus to your hit points, or you can reroll your hit die completely, or you can take the average of your hit die. So your hit die for elf is a d6. So the average is 3. You can also just roll a d6, and if you roll higher than what you currently already have, you get to keep it. If you roll a 1, you have to take the 1. And the final one I don't recommend is just the +1 bonus. It's recommended if you already have high hit points, right? Like if you're at a 5, there's no chance you're gonna get a 6 possibly, so you might as well take a +1.
Isn't the average on a d6 a 4?
It's a 3, like 3.5, but it rounds down to 3.
3.5, but rounded up is 4, right?
Right, it rounds down for like when it comes to hit point purposes or rolling.
Okay.
So it's a 3.
Maybe I'll just take a 3 then. I'll just take the average of 3.
Okay.
So that okay. And can I keep buying averages, or will that only worth 1 time?
If you wanna upgrade your hit points again, the next upgrade will cost you 30 coppers instead, right? Remember, it's gonna be 10 times the cost.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, your next one will be 30 coppers, and for that next upgrade, you could either re-roll, take a +1. If you take the average of 3, nothing will change because you're already at the average. So you would at that point you have to take a +1,
I see.
or you have to completely re-roll.
Okay, actually, could I roll a d6 then? I didn't know that.
Okay, you plan to roll it. Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll a d6.
I'll do it. Yeah.
And if you score a 1, you have to take the 1, right? But you have a high chance of getting anything higher than a 1.
Okay. It's the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 3.
That was meant to be.
The same thing. Yeah, it was meant to be. Yeah. So, is there any way to increase like your base stats with training, or is it only for hit point?
Yep, same thing. So base stat is your score times 10 in copper pieces. So it'd be 130
Your score
coppers to.
times 10. Okay.
Yep. You also get a free upgrade to hit points and ability scores every time you level up. So,
Okay.
yep. And also there's a test. So how we know your ability scores is your character gets tested out, and that's how we find out like how strong you are, how smart you are. You take a test, right? So also other ways to find out if your hit points or abilities are changed is if you undergo any dangerous or high risk events that will test your abilities to the limit, right? So for good or bad, right? So anytime you try something very dangerous or challenging and you succeed, typically your abilities will increase, right? So you try something very strength intensive and it's pushing your strength limits to the limit or your strength capabilities to the limit, right? You did an action, right? And you succeeded at it at something that normally you shouldn't be able to succeed at, but you succeeded at it because you kept on trying, and not just because you kept trying, but you made good choices to upgrade or use your strength properly, right? And maybe a bit of luck involved too, right? But more so, you chose to actively test your strength to its limits. In that case, if you succeed and it's profitable, there's also typically a chance for you to change your strength and increase it. Now, if you, of course, test it to the limits in a bad way, right, and you get injured or something, right, then it will go down, right? So, like, if you test your, say, constitution to the limits by, like, just drinking poison, right, you could actually injure yourself, right, and lower your constitution score, make your character not as...
Is there a way to put your abilities to the limits by like not doing something incredibly dangerous, like I don't know, for example, for strength, working out really hard, or dexterity, running
Yep.
more than what your body would be capable of?
Yeah, exactly. When you test your body to the limits, right, like, it's like you could actually die from it and you succeed, right? So, or injure yourself and you succeed. So testing to limits. So for like climbing a mountain, for example, right? A character of 18 strength who doesn't actually climb mountains, or will never test his limit, and he's already has limits, right? He's already at the max. He's already peaked out. But like a character that has 3 strength, for example, somehow figured out how to climb a mountain without needing super high strength, but still used the strength involved, right? Prove that he deserves a higher strength score than what's listed on paper, right? Because he, succeeded at something that his scores don't match with, right? So, if that makes sense.
So, all right, and you think maybe I should get a shield too to have more defense, or?
Yeah, if you plan
What
to
do you
use a
think I should
one-handed
do?
weapon, the shield's good. So,
If I use a one-handed weapon, would I still be able to cast magic or not?
you still need a free hand. So if you wanted to cast, you would have to drop that weapon or shield to start casting. Most people put a sling on their shield so that when they're carrying their shield around, if they drop it, their shield's still hanging on them, right?
Okay,
So
maybe
slung
I'll
shield.
do that.
So if you're a caster, right, you would like have a sword and shield, and then if you want to cast, you would just drop the slung shield, and it would just be hanging on you while you cast the spell with the free hand, the newly freed up hand.
Yeah, that's actually really smart. Let's do that.
Okay, sounds good. So, do you want what size of shield? Do you want a normal size, light, or heavy size shield? So like a kite. This is not to scale, by the way. This kite's like twice the size of a heater.
Yeah.
But a kite shield's a heavy shield. A pavis is a heavy shield. Heater is like a normal. Borsches, buckler. These are just examples, of course. But size-wise, do you want normal?
What do you recommend?
Given that you've already got a lot of gear on you, you're probably a heavy footman already. So I'm gonna recommend you go with the normal. Or you might just go with heavy anyway, since you're already a heavy footman. As long as you don't go over your encumbrance limit, which for an elf it's 120 pounds. So you're currently.
I'll get how much is the heater?
You have 60 pounds of armor on you at the moment. And if you buy the slung heater shield, which is a normal shield, it costs only 6 coppers total. It weighs a total of 11 pounds. The kite shield, a heavy one, for example, costs 10 or 11 coppers total. weighs 21 pounds. So
I'll get the heater shield, and I'm also gonna buy a bag. But like, what we're good, or like maybe a satchel. What do you recommend for just buying things to store treasure?
a backpack and a satchel, so the nice part about a backpack carries the most gear in the game on your back. However, it's hardest to access right in the middle of combat. A satchel is the middle ground, uh, and you can access it easily in the middle of combat because it hangs at your side. The last option is a knapsack. The cheapest option carries the least amount of gear, and usually you sling it on your back as well. So it's kind of like a backpack. The only benefit of a knapsack is that it's cheap. So
Could you get wear a backpack and have a satchel, or is that
You
like
could.
overkill?
you could do that. Yeah.
Would it encumber you, or would it actually help you carry stuff?
It allows you to carry stuff, but weight still matters. Yeah, so it doesn't increase your encumbrance limit,
But
but it
there's no
allows you to actually
negative
carry it.
unless you go over that 120-pound limit, right?
Exactly. Yeah. A backpack
Okay.
weighs 3 pounds. A satchel weighs 1 pound. So that's how.
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
fine.
not bad.
Okay.
Okay, and this heater, how much defense does it provide?
-1 arm class. When worn, if actively used as cover, so you're wielding it and taking cover behind it, it's twice as much cover, so -2 armor class bonus. And of course, anything that manages to hit it and go past it, the damage is halved, right? So like an arrow, for example, if you still get hit somehow by an arrow,
Nice.
based on your armor class, right? It hits the shield, and the damage is reduced by 50%.
Okay, and so that would make my AC a 3 now?
It would make your AC 1 typical, or I mean, 3, and then at times it will become a 2. It becomes a 2 armor class total when you actively carry the shield in your hand, right? And take cover
Okay,
behind
I
it,
see.
right? Because a normal shield, it can cover half your body, and that's a -2 armor class bonus. So, right. But if you just wear it, it's just a -1, so partial cover, right?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. We'll get that, and then buy a satchel and a shit to carry shit, and then yeah, that's it. That's all I want.
Slung heater. You just want the satchel, not the backpack.
Should I get the backpack?
It carries up to 80 pounds. The satchel carries up to 60 pounds. Or no, yeah, 60 I think.
Can you, how, and a satchel only weighs like 1 pound, right?
Oh wait, no wait. I think a satchel carries 40 pounds maybe. So it's 80, 40, and 20. Yeah,
Could you buy 2 satchels?
you could, and one on each side. Yeah. You want 2 satchels?
Yeah, I'll buy 2. I'll buy 2 satchels. Yeah, I want to carry stuff.
All right. I believe it's 1 pound. Let me double check though. I haven't looked in a while. Carrying capacity, storage. Okay. Yeah, it is 3 pounds. Yeah, it's gonna be 3 pounds. So but it's fine. 6 pounds of extra gear is not even that bad. Carries 40 pounds each. It's a side bag. So
Yeah.
Okay.
That works. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, yeah. Carries up to 80 pounds. Weighs a total of 6 pounds. A little more than a backpack, but the benefit is that it's on your side, right? So, let's see. Okay. Yep, should be good. Price. Went from 23 down to 20 with the satchels. No, wait. 17 with the satchels. I think I already paid for your heater, so that was 11 coppers.
Yeah, and my AC is a 3 now.
Yep, that's right.
Boop. And
Nice.
yeah, I think that's good. Unless there's like, I guess I could buy like rations and stuff. But like, is there anything else you'd recommend? I don't really know what else gear I need. I just want to be like prepared.
Yeah, so you're back in town, you're going through the markets, stocking up on all the gear you'll need for your next raid or your next adventure. I recommend you're going to get a better weapon because you only have a sling at the moment, right? So you probably want a sword or a spear, right, to use with your shield. So
I'll get a sword.
swords are good in close combat. Spears are super good because the reach, right? Stoppage power. Um, yeah, sword is good. Let's see, just a sword, or do you want anything else? Dagger is really good for close or tight, or grappling, right? Close quarters combat and grappling. Let's see.
I'll just get a sword for now. I'll think on it to get more stuff later. But yeah, sweet.
Okay.
Like I have a sling for ranged. I have magic missile for ranged. I have a shield now, and the sling is like attached to the shield. So if I drop it, it's like still I can still like equip it later.
Yep. Your slings are separate. So the heater, that's a weapon sling. It's not used for firing. The sling that you have, the hunting sling, it's different. It's in the pouch for your stones. Those are two different slings.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, hunting sling and weapon sling. So.
All right, yeah, that's everything, man. Thank you for
Awesome.
running the game.
Thank you for
I hope
playing,
I
brother.
can play again sometime.
Yep. I'll see you at the next one, hopefully. So this is pick up and play, by the way. So whenever there's a game, you can just hop in. You don't have to make it to every game.
All right, sweet.
All right. Take care, bro.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Have a good night.